game, best performance by the offensive line as a whole. How was your takeaway from that game?
Yeah, I think it did take us a few series to really get gelling, but we did cross the 50 a few times and kind of stalled out. But Penn State was coming in there averaging, I think, 3.5 sacks a game. They only got one on us, and you know, I was a running back, not his fault, but we slid the wrong way, so we got to take the pressure off that. And they were, I think, top 10 in the country in TFLs, and I think we only gave up maybe 4. So that's something that we really pride ourselves on, and we threw the ball a lot, and we were able to keep Shea clean, and yeah, that's one of the good takeaways from that game.
Is it tougher in an environment like that too? I mean, yeah, obviously you have the issue before the game started, right?
Yeah, after that the little debacle, the first play of the game, that was probably the loudest I've ever heard a stadium. They really amped up. Like, I could feel the vibrations going through my entire body. It was so loud because we were right there in the student section. But yeah, I don't really know what happened there. Caesar put his hand on the ball. I still thought the ref was standing there. I don't know why, but you know, just can't do that. Burn a timeout early on in the first half.
What was the key to slowing down those two defensive ends?
Going in this game, you know, we played them last year. We knew that both of them are really big speed guys, so really harped on having a lot of chip help with the running backs, and we got that. It was really helpful, and it's also helpful that we're sliding the right way in our protection. Sometimes when the DNs bails out, and you know, it'll alleviate the running back having to block, and you know, they're really talented, and really proud of how our whole offensive line played, and yeah.
What do you think made the difference for the offense once you guys did get comfortable and turn on?
Yeah, I think you know, we had the slow start, and it's going to be tough battling down 21-0 on the road game, hostile environment. You don't want to see that, but we were able to come together. You know, once you start putting those drives together, scoring, the stadium got pretty quiet, and you know, you could really hear our guys on the sideline. Energy's getting up. Everybody's getting loud and happy, and be able to move the ball down the field, scoring more touchdowns, and making plays, and that's the key. And if you want to win on the road in a hostile environment like that, you got to start fast, and we didn't do that.
Was there anything specific you feel like you guys figured out at that point, or about you guys or about their defense or anything?
I wouldn't really pinpoint anything. I'm gonna be honest. Like first 2 series, I don't know what was going on with me. I kind of had 2 bad series to start personally, but I guess I just got back in rhythm, and our whole offense got back in rhythm as well, and be able to go from there.
Second half, is that kind of more closer to what you guys have seen in practices?
Yeah, the second half, everybody saw it. Be able to move the ball with ease, running RPOs, wide receivers getting open, catching the ball, really important. You know, we weren't getting those second and third and longs, and we were able to kind of run our style offense that we wanted to. Banging out the explosive plays. I think we had 5 explosive runs and 7 explosive passes, and you're going to need to do that when you're on the road.
In terms of, I guess, bridging that gap from practices to games, we've talked about it in weeks beforehand. I mean, what kind of lets you guys do that a little bit more this week?
Yeah, I'm not too sure why sometimes we feel like it doesn't transfer over from practice to games. But, you know, like I said, we're just keep chipping away at it. And eventually we kind of did get to see, you know, what we see pretty much every day in practice. And it was exciting. And we felt good driving the ball down the field. We ran an ungodly amount of plays, it felt like. I think it was in the high 80s. And I looked up at the scoreboard and saw that we ran like 60 plays, and it was just the start of the fourth quarter, and I think we ran 60 plays in one game, and you know, legs were a little heavy, but got to keep pushing through.
What is the frustration level of the conversation? Last 2 years, there have been road games with you get in big holes. I mean, 14-0 Notre Dame, 17-0 Northwestern. Obviously, the 2 games this year. What happens on the sideline? I mean, how do you decide you got to try to come back from this?
Yeah,
How do you?
in both those games, kind of just to keep morale going on the sideline. So when you go down big like that, like we were down 17-0 against Northwestern, able to come back, and against Notre Dame, like you said, and you just got to keep chipping away, and you just got to have this mindset that, you know, you survived their best punch, and now it's our time, and we're not going to give them any more. We're going to stand up to them and, you know, run the ball how we want to. We're going to pass protect, and the receivers can get over and catch the ball. So you just got to be able to take it one play at a time.
Was there a specific point where you felt like that happened in this game? Play or drive?
And, you know, you don't really feel it. I mean, obviously, I say the drive that we scored our first touchdown on. We're down 21-0, and we're driving down the field, and Donovan catches the ball over the middle, and goes up in the air, Ronnie catches it, runs in the end zone, and that was like pure elation right there. And then Caesar gets called for the ineligible receiver downfield, and that kind of took a little air out of my tires because, you know, down 21-0, like, you want every break you can catch, and we got unlucky with that one, but, you know, we scored 2 or 3 plays later, and you know, the defense had a big stop after that, and I think we were able to score again, and that's when the whole sideline came to life. And yeah, I mean, just getting down 21-0 on the road is just something that you can't do.
Shea was making throws, getting outside the pocket. I think he said last night that he feels hopeful again. Is that the best Shea you've seen this season?
Oh yeah, for sure. Shea played lights out of that game. I love his composure, his leadership. Even on the touchdown, the QB sneak, I can't believe it, but when we were down there and we were in the pile, I mean, I wasn't in it, but Shea was getting his eyes gouged out in the scrum over there, and he was still fighting away, even though people were digging his eyes. Came to the sideline, tears all in his eyes, because it was ridiculous that people were trying to gouge his eyes out, but he kept fighting for us, and I appreciate it. Awesome leader. We'll do whatever we can to protect him because we know that he has the ability to make those plays.
Is that something that happens often, or anything that you've experienced before or seen before?
I've heard of ankle twisting, but I haven't really heard much about eye gouging. It's kind of ridiculous and unfair. And, you know, that scrum lasted a good 30 seconds. And guys weren't coming off, and like Shea and Ben Mason kept trying to push their feet to get the ball across the line. And yeah, it's something that I've never seen before. And I guess that's what they felt like they needed to do to help them get an edge. And it's kind of ridiculous, but it's whatever. The refs couldn't see it because it was at the bottom of the pile.
Do you look forward to playing a game like that? I know it's a weird time, isn't it, to play Notre Dame this late in the season, but do you enjoy this rivalry?
Yeah, I enjoy playing against big-time players, and I've had a chance to do that this season, the season before. We enjoy playing in prime time, big-time games, going out there, and you know, a lot of people saying that we have nothing to play for, but we have everything to play for because you got all those guys in the locker room, you got our coaches, we have our families that we're playing for.
How do you communicate that message to some of the younger guys who maybe haven't been through something like this at the collegiate level?
Yeah, the younger guys on the team, you know, especially in the O-line, we tend to tell them to be seen but not be heard, and kind of take in everything that they see us do. That's kind of what I try to do as a freshman and a sophomore. Kind of look at the older guys, look up to them, see how they conduct themselves out of the facility, you know, in the classroom day to day, and inside the facility and meetings and practice. And you know, that's something that they're really far ahead of the curve because they're watching firsthand how the seniors and the guys that are playing are handling adversity. And I feel like if they're smart, we're going to pay attention to that and be able to relive this experience when they're in the position that I am right now.
Couple more for John.
Do you have some memories of the Notre Dame? Do you remember, I mean, are you old enough to know some of these Under Lights games?
Oh, yeah. The one, I forget what year it was, but when Roy Roundtree got a touchdown corner of the end zone. I forget what I was doing, but I came back and I watched the fourth quarter of that game. I think I was out at dinner with my parents or something like that, and that's really one of the first memories out of the Michigan Notre Dame game. I had a bunch of friends whose parents were Notre Dame fans, so back when Notre Dame had like Manti Te'o on their team, they would always have Notre Dame on the TV, and I guess I'd watch it because there was nothing else to watch over their house. But yeah, just excited.
Do you see Roy Roundtree? I think that's the same, that doesn't look like the same guy who made that play.
If Roy looked a lot younger back then.
Warner said there's a picture of that in the locker room. Is that something as a moment that you talk about as players or maybe reflect on as a program?
Yeah, when you walk into when you're walking up the tunnel into the locker room from the field, it's kind of the first thing you see when you walk in. You know, it's an iconic moment in Michigan history and the Michigan-Notre Dame rivalry. And, you know, there's a lot of people that watch this game. And, yeah, it's something that kind of gives you chills when you think about it.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to slide Nico.